Today I want to talk about a situation that's been hitting the internet by storm.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
What I find corny is my preference is not my women. Now, I thought it was I'm not dating my women, period, which is the corniest human being outside of a criminal to me, period.
Akaash only dates brown. Akaash has been with one girl in his life who is his wife.
That's my wife. That's an
So
Indian
this
woman
is
that was
like
important
loyal
to me.
through and through.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. I was popping my
Oh my God.
and living my best life in these white boy frat houses.
Oh my God. It hit even harder because of the clip that came before it.
Akaash only dates brown.
Yeah,
Akaash has been with one girl in his life who is his wife.
That's my wife. That's an
So
Indian
this
woman that
is
was
like
important
loyal
to me.
through and through.
Akaash has only been with one woman, and then the next clip is his wife talking about how she was popping her for multiple men, living her best life in the white boy fraternities. What makes this bad is the fact that during those times that she was probably out here popping her, getting her tonsils examined, that man Akaash was probably a virgin. During that interview with Fresh and Fit, my boy Akaash had that high and mighty, you guys ain't shit. And I'm not a fan of Fresh and Fit. I do feel as though they say and do some extreme things. But if you're gonna go at them like how he went at them, you gotta make sure all your bases are covered. You gotta make sure that the woman that you're describing that you fell in love with is actually that woman, because now she just looks like the bitches that they be talking about. This is a bad look. I'm not gonna lie to you, my brother. This is a bad look.
Actively trying to have an orgy and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you see him. His body goes crazy. His face card always slays, never declines. And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband. You just know that Nav's dick is like at least 10 inches. Okay, I have two, but
Bro. Damn. So she's trying to have an orgy with her co-host's husband. She's talking about her co-host's husband's penis and how she imagined that is 10 inches.
full story. So one time I met this guy on Tinder and I made the dumb mistake of letting him sleep over, like not really wanting to hook up. And I like woke up in the morning and like my asshole was a little sore.
Oh my God.
And I remember that he what kind of porn do you watch when you use a vibrator?
Okay, not gonna lie, I don't watch porn while using a vibrator. What? I just think my imagination is vibration enough.
Wow.
I'm just thinking of like my own husband while I'm like doing it.
Wait, that's kind of baller, but I could never do that.
Yeah. And so I was
Look at
using
you and your husband.
Oh my God. Bro. I don't know if I'm reading this wrong, but she just took a shot at her husband. She basically saying she can't close her eyes and imagine her husband while she's pleasuring herself. That's what I got from that little snippet right there. Wow.
Split finances. And I'm going to be really
I don't.
We don't.
First of all, that's a red flag. I'm not like, no joke. I love you girls. If you want to work all for that, whatever. But like any man that doesn't want to have a joint bank account or isn't being transparent with his accounts or has separate accounts, that's a red flag. This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street. His money is our money and my money is my money. And look, have I only made $600 for content creating?
wow, I went up
Sure.
$100 from last week.
But that's my money! Okay?
I don't know if you watch The Boys,
Yes.
but I love him on The Boys.
I never watched that show, but like, he's on my hall pass list.
Oh yeah.
Chase Crawford, Jacob Elordi, Austin Butler, and who else?
Do you know why I think
How many times have we seen in the media a young lady who is married to a successful man? She doesn't really need to work or really doesn't need to do anything except be a wife. But she decides to get in the content creating space, whether it be a podcast, whether it be a YouTube channel or something like that. And she comes out here and embarrasses the out of her husband. And a lot of times what that reminds me of, right? What that reminds me of is when you have rich dudes with money, especially rappers, or athletes, even athletes with money who have made it out the hood, can afford whatever they want to afford, but still abide by hood politics. Still want to go in the hood and do dumb shit. Still want to prove themselves. That's what I'm looking for. They still want to prove themselves to people who are stuck in a situation that they got away from. Be patient. I'm going to bring it in. So what I'm trying to say is, you have these women who are married and they have good husbands, but they come out with these stories about their past and how they're feeling and you know, still trying to prove to these single bitches out here that the hoe never left. Still trying to prove to bitches who want to be in their situation that the hoe is still in them. And this is what she's doing. This is exactly what she's doing. Honestly, this is going to get a lot worse before it gets better. You know, I don't see Myron letting up at all. I'm not a fan of Myron, but that compilation was life-changing.
Do you know why I think I have like a good...
Now, I find it super interesting, right? Like, if you take a look at that conversation that Fresh and Fit and Flagrant had 3 years ago, right, and people were divided and picking sides, does your side change now that you see the woman that he decided to marry? Imagine getting on bended knee for a woman that is okay with utilizing the free time that you have now allowed her through the millions of dollars that you have ascertained to get on these public podcasts and talk about hall passes, meaning a guy that she...
That hall pass comment was crazy. That's the dangerous thing about getting up on this internet. You can only pretend for so long. Us as content creators, we go through it. Everybody go through it. You come to a point where shit is dry and you want to talk about something, and the things that you might have kept bottled up and I don't want to talk about this. But a point might hit like, but if I do talk about this, it'll go viral. It's gonna bring in traction. And that's when you expose yourself. That's when you expose who you really are. I'm not gonna lie, I do make videos and I do say a lot of raunchy shit or whatever, but me and my wife have that type of relationship. I would never come on the internet and act like I'm perfect. I am not perfect. My wife ain't perfect. Our relationship is not perfect.
You would step out on if given the opportunity, screaming from the top of her lungs as you put her up on that pedestal of what it is that you owe her as she screams, "It's my money," into that microphone. So confident to talk so recklessly about her podcast host's now husband, about doing gangbangs and how attractive that he is.
That's crazy.
And what also bothers me about this as well is that this is a leech serpent woman that took Akaash, who I still think is a good at heart type of guy, for granted, but that's what the blue pill is. That's why this content is so necessary, so that men can continue to learn the tricks of the trade so they don't get taken advantage of later on in life. So many young men today choose women without listening to them or watching their behavior with their eyes closed. Because if you close them damn eyes and if you prioritize logic over the attraction that you see, then you will significantly lower the risk of setting yourself up for a life like this. And what's crazy,
I try not to get wrapped up in the red pill, blue pill type of thing, but I see where he's coming from. What I think happened, okay, it's a lot of us out here before we got married, before we got in relationships, we were in these streets and we got a lot of life experiences and we know what's coming, okay? We could see a female and be like, I don't think Akaash had those type of experiences. The fact that Akaash was probably a virgin before he met her, he definitely did not have those type of experiences. And she probably showed him who she was, but he didn't know any better. So I definitely get what MTR is saying. You feel me? I understand where he's coming from. I hate to say it, but he's right. You know, you need some type of experience before you make these type of lifelong commitments. You need some type of guidance. You need something. And again, I try not to get wrapped up in the red pill and blue pill thing, bro. I'd rather you learn it from just going out there and just experiencing it for yourself. You feel me? I do feel as though you can listen to somebody say something. There's a difference with actually going through it yourself. Like, I can sit here and tell you, people that act like this are definitely these type of people. You will get hurt with a female like this. And And you can hear me, you might follow me, but you might be curious because you never really experienced it. You have to experience that shit for yourself. It's just a pity that he committed and now he's experiencing it.
Crazy is that women on her side are just talking about how loving of a relationship that this is. What? The normalization of the emasculinization of the modern man today is sickening. Have him get up on a podcast and talk about these chicks that he wants hall passes with and other men's wife that he wants to do gangbangs with and shit like that, and see how quickly their tune will change.
Bro, yeah, I be talking crazy on my channel, but I would never go that far. I might give little stories, watered down stories at that. You feel me? It's shit that I have spoken about on videos, and I would be like, nah, I can't put this out. And I would have to trash the whole video because I'm like, my wife give me some slack to talk about certain things and to put on this show on camera, but I know where to draw the line. She's wilding. She is wilding. Here's the worst part now. She has opened the door for some random guy to come out there and be like, oh yeah, I was one of the dudes in them frat houses that she used to run through. We done ran a train on her senior year. She opened the door for that. I wouldn't be surprised. Akaash is pretty famous. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody come out, get on a podcast and tell all.